Now, quickly, what I want to say here too is go back into the modern day alpha inhibitors I'm talking about. And porn is a big one because think about it. Your father, certainly your grandfather, okay, didn't have high speed internet porn. Um, they might have had VHS porn like me or something like that. But most, especially if we go back to our grandfathers, they're looking at Penthouse, Playboy. That's a whole different thing because what they're looking at there, first of all, they're not scrolling through a bunch of different women. It's just page after page. So there's not a lot of dopamine from that seeking there. And these women aren't engaged in sex. They're nude. They might be in sexy poses or whatever, but what they're conditioning their mind for is to get turned on by the female form alone. And that's a good thing. That actually helped them in the bedroom because now they're turned on by the feminine, by the women, so when they're an actual woman, not just looking at the pictures, it's even more arousing to them because they're three-dimensional. They can smell them, they can touch them, they can taste them. It enhances the experience. Where porn does the opposite, really, because what you're training yourself to is to get aroused by watching other people have sex, not by the female form, okay, but by being a voyeur into other people having sex, which in and of itself is not a problem, having that kind of fantasy, but you don't want to be stuck in that fantasy. And that's part of where porn becomes the problem too. Just like when I talked about making that VHS tape of my favorite scenes, right? Those get more entrenched in my brain, right? It's like I'm always going down that route. It's almost like if you're always walking down the same piece of grass, it starts to wear down and you create a path, right? You create a groove. And that's what's happening. I'm always going back to the same scenes, the same things that arouse me. So that creates a deep groove in my brain for those things. So those things ended up really arousing me, and other things end up fading away that aroused me before, like just looking at a female. Like if you think back when you were a teenager, you probably just got turned on just by looking at females, right? So these other things start to fade away because those grooves become so deep from watching all that porn. Certain scenes, specific things that you are turned on by. Okay. So how I like to put it is, you start to need a sledgehammer to get aroused. It's like you go in the bedroom and you got your woman there and she's not engaged in those scenes that you've seen. It's just her. Right? Even if she's beautiful and she's naked and she's sexy, you've trained your brain now to not get as aroused by that. You've kind of pushed that aside and you put all your arousal into those things that really turn you on, right? So now it's like you need those things to be in place. Now, to make this a little bit more, so you can understand a little bit better, let's talk about dopamine. Because it's a groove I talked about. When it comes to getting throbbing, stage 4, rock hard on command, and lasting as long as you want in the bedroom, both permanently and naturally at any age, the first step is understanding exactly what is going on under the hood of your manhood. Because if a man doesn't understand the basic mechanics of how his manhood works, how can he expect anything he tries to work? He just ends up throwing punches in the dark and then is frustrated when everything he tries stops working and makes his hardness and lasting power worse over time, conveniently leading him to more and more extreme treatments that further destroy his manhood and his ability to perform in the bedroom. So if this is a priority for you and you would like to finally get off a big pharma's hamster wheel, keeping you trapped, broken, and desperate, then you're going to want to set aside about 75 minutes to watch this free training I made just for you that's going to allow you to finally understand the ecosystem behind your manhood and bedroom performance. Like fixing a leaky pipe, you can't just drywall over it or you'll end up with a house full of black mold.
You have to fix the source of the leaky pipe if you want permanent results that will last a lifetime. So I put a link in the description to claim a 24-hour access pass to my new masterclass that will take you by the hand and show you exactly what's going on under the hood. So you can finally understand exactly what methodologies, frameworks, and systems that our guys are using right now to conquer their bedroom performance permanently and naturally at any age. So go ahead and click the link in the description and I'll see you inside the masterclass. Xander Holt, signing off.